Good morning and welcome to First Unitarian Portland. We are a multi-generational, spiritually inclusive, and justice-centered community. And we're so glad that you're here with us today in the sanctuary and those of you joining us online. My name is Dana Buell and I use she, her pronouns, and I serve as the Director of Social Justice here at First Unitarian. So this morning we're pleased to welcome Dan Boyce as he is directing our summer community choir today. Dan is the Minister of Music Emeritus of Birmingham Unitarian Church of Bloomfield, Michigan, and now serves as Chair of the Board of Chamber Music Northwest. So we want to welcome Dan. We also want to say a hearty thank you to Reverend Mitra Rahnema for her wonderful preaching this summer and being with us throughout this time. Thank you. Following the service today, we invite you all to join fellow congregants downstairs in Fuller Hall for a social hour. And if you're new or returning after a long time away, you're invited to join a welcome service over in the right gallery here as a chance to meet other congregants and ask any questions you may have. So now let's take a moment to greet one another here and online. Very. Reverend Mitra is going to light our chalice here in the sanctuary, and if you're online, we welcome you to light your own chalice or light a candle. And please join me as we say, "We are Unitarian Universalists. We light this chalice in faith, in hope, and in love." After the service today, our Democracy in Action team is hosting an election protection training at noon in Elliott Chapel. We'll learn how we can help ensure that our elections are free and fair for everyone in our community. This training is offered by Common Cause Oregon, a nonpartisan democracy watchdog and champion. There will be snacks provided, and even if you didn't register, please come. There will be plenty of room. Do abortion restrictions and lack of access to fundamental reproductive care get you mad? Yes. Then grab your boots, stomp your feet, and help us raise money so people of reproductive years can exercise their own right to bodily autonomy. On Thursday, August 20th, our Care and Action for Reproductive Dignity group is hosting a rodeo for reproductive rights. It's a fundraiser for Northwest Abortion Access Fund, and there will be beginner level classes, a performance by Portland's LGBTQ country and western dance troupe, information, and an evening of abortion-positive fun. Tickets are $15 to $25, and you can see the announcement in the e-news where you can get your Eventbrite ticket. And now I'd like to invite Jerry Hauser up for a special announcement.
Why am I up here? Picnic, you're right. You get an ice cream for free. What date is the picnic? What date is the picnic? 23rd. 23rd. You get a free ice cream. In fact, you're bringing them. What's the location of the picnic? You guys know everything. You get a free ice cream too. And what should you bring? You should bring your bologna sandwich. You should bring your fizzy water. You should bring a chair. What else do we need to know? There will be games. That's it. See you in a couple of weeks.
In case you didn't hear, that's the 23rd, somewhere. Peninsula Park, church picnic. All are welcome. What time is it at?
Good question. You get a free ice cream.
Okay. 12:30. And apparently there's going to be ice cream. Ooh, nice. It is no small task to come to church on a Sunday morning. It takes attention and ritual, problem solving, and commitment. Yet here we are. Take a deep breath. We come to remember who we are, to be with one another, known and unknown, and to bravely care for our world. Let us bring our whole selves into this moment and worship together. Now is our time for all ages. And if you were here, so this August, we've returned to Time for All Ages, and if you were here last Sunday, you'll know that I don't really do stories. In fact, I come down to talk to you because I find that you're too far away. So here I go. I don't need these. Testing. All right, look at this. We even have a microphone to come down here. So I can actually see you all up close. Are there any children and youth in our midst today who are 18 or younger? If there are, just raise your hand. You don't have to do anything else. Okay, I see a couple hiding up there. That's where I would be too, just so you know. Thank you. This is a time for all ages, so everyone gets to participate from here on out. Today, we're talking about being brave. And as we all know, hopefully, being brave isn't about not being afraid. So what is it about? What are words that you might use to describe bravery? Just shout it out. Fearless, integrity, I heard courage. I heard intention, conscience, gratitude. There was something else. Strength, awake, persistence, speaking out, human. What about honesty? Would you agree to that one too? Kindness? Okay, let me ask another question. Does anyone want to tell me one thing that scares you? Donald Trump. I didn't hear that, but I heard something. Oh, thank you. Forest fires. Environmental degradation. Car accidents. What? ICE. Poverty. AI. War. Isolation. What about, is there anybody in your life or anybody that you know of who makes you feel brave? Who is that person to you? Is it, you could say an idol if it's someone you don't know, or it could be someone in your family. Like, who is that person? My children, my wife, my neighbor, is that what I heard? Michelle Obama. My church. Who makes you feel brave? My community. Friends. Did you say my dog? Dana. My father. Okay, one more question for you all, because you all basically are teaching me. What is one thing that you could do that's brave in the next week? Speak out. Go line dancing. Woo! Yep. Stand up. Attend an election protection meeting. Donate. Speak up. Show up. I wonder, yes. Hug. In a land of COVID, that sure is brave. What I hope for all of Unitarian Universalism is that we can have communities that encourage one another to be brave. That you encourage one another to be brave. And now you all have helped me think about how to do that. So thank you for being here, and may you all be blessed. What I always say, open minds, helping hands, and loving hearts. So any youth, it's now time to head out into the lobby where you'll be welcomed for the August Garden Club. And there's more before we start singing. I don't remember what it is. If you're new, there are people out there who will tell you where to go. Don't worry. You can head on out there and meet other families. Together, let us sing our hymn of blessing.
Our responsive reading this morning is by Marge Piercy, entitled "To Be of Use." I want to be with people who submerge in the task, who grow into the fields to harvest the work in a row and pass the bags along, who stand in the line and haul in their places, who are not generals and field deserters, but move in a common rhythm when the food must come in or the fire be put out. The work of the world is common as mud. Botched, it smears the hands, crumbles to dust. But the thing worth doing well done has a shape that satisfies, clean and evident. Greek amphoras for wine or oil, Hopi vases that held corn are put in museums. But you know they were made to be used. The pitcher cries for water to carry, and a person for work that is real. I feel shown on. That's wonderful. Thank you all. So now's the time in our service when we reflect on all that we give and receive to one another in our community. And we're happy again this week to share our plate with DRUM, Diverse Revolutionary UU Multicultural Ministries. Drum is a UU People of Color ministry and anti-racist collective that brings lay and religious professionals together to overcome racism through resistance and to transform Unitarian Universalism through multicultural experiences. Drum serves hundreds of UUs of color through chaplaincy, community building, worship, and leadership development. Many UUs of color find Drum to nourish their wholeness in their spiritual lives. Sharing Our Plate with Drum is part of First Unitarian's annual promise to support their ministry. We are one of dozens of congregations that sponsor the annual Drum public worship service, which you can watch on their YouTube channel. So if you'd like to donate by cash or check, our ushers will be coming through with baskets, and you can help move those baskets along. And if you're at home, you can use the QR code on the screen. Here in the sanctuary, it's a little bit easier to use the QR code on the green slips in the seat backs in front of you. And if you're on Boxcast, you can use the Donate Now button. Thank you for your generosity that sustains our community. We make space each week to hold the joys, sorrows, and transitions of our members and friends. You can send milestones you wish us to share aloud during the service by way of the pastoral care form that is on our website. Those who wish to make a more private prayer can share by lighting a candle and writing a prayer of intention in either of the side galleries, or by using that same pastoral care form that's on our website. Your ministers and lay ministers receive them and pray with you throughout the week. We have two sorrows to share this morning. Longtime friend of the church, Warren A. Hatch, died last week in his home. He has been connected to our congregation since 1997 and known as a unique teacher, researcher, writer, and a noted nature photographer. For those who knew Warren, please call the office to get information for his friend Nancy, who is helping with communication. We send our love to Warren's family and friends as they navigate this loss. Member Sanderson de Salix shares that his brother, Mark Wiesel, passed away in Corvallis on August 3rd. He was 56 years old and had lived with ALS for 2.5 years before choosing death with dignity. Using a synthesized voice until his eyes closed, his last words were love, love, love. We hold Sanderson and all of Mark's loved one at this tender time. So please join me to settle into this moment and into our bodies. I invite you to take a conscious breath to align your heart, your body, and your mind in a spirit of prayer. Friends, it's a blessing to be with one another on this new day. We hold our community members who are coping with the loss of loved ones or who are living with other fears or sorrows. May all who are navigating grief and worry know we care for your well-being and you are loved. This last week has been a frightening reminder of the climate crisis as temperatures soared and wildfire smoke billowed and settled throughout the Pacific Northwest. We grieve the destruction of wildlands and wild creatures, of homes and communities. May we remember to make space for our grief and to have time among loved ones who understand that our grief is also a reflection of our love. Spirit of compassion, help us be present to the gifts of this life, gifts both simple as the fresh air we breathe this morning, and profound as our interdependence with the trees and the oceans and all beings. From a place of gratitude, help us to offer our presence and care to those who are hurting or in need, grounded in the wisdom that we share this earth and her gifts, and that our true possessions are our acts of kindness and generosity. May this community's beating heart be renewed with our intention to practice love and walk in peace. May it be so. Amen. So let's sit for a moment or two in quiet contemplation. Please rise in body, rise in spirit as we sing our doxology, Spirit of Life.
The reading today is a translation of Isaiah 58, verses 5 through 9 by the Rabbi Arthur Waskow. Is this the kind of fast that I desire? Is that really a day for people to press down their egos? Am I commanding you to droop your heads like bulrushes and lie around in sackcloth and ashes? Is that what you call a fast day? The kind of day that the God of the burning bush would wish? No. This is the kind of fast that I desire. Unlock the handcuffs put on by wicked powers. Untie the ropes of the yoke. Let the oppressed go free and break every yoke. Share your bread with the hungry. Bring the poor, the outcast to your house. When you see them naked, clothe them. They are your flesh and blood. Don't hide yourself from them. Then your light will burst through like the dawn. Then when you need healing, it will spring up quickly. Then your own righteousness will march ahead to guard you, and a radiance from Yahweh will reach out behind to guard you. And then when you cry out, Yahweh will answer, "Here I am." If you banish the yoke from your midst, if you rid yourself of scornful finger-pointing, the words of contempt, if you open up your life experience to the hungry and soothe the life that has been trampled underfoot, then even in darkness your light will shine, and your moments of gloom turn bright as noonday. Then the breath of life will always be your guide, will soothe your own life in your own times of dryness, and strengthen your bones when they are weary. Then you shall be like a garden given water, like a wellspring whose waters never fail. Those who sprung from you shall rebuild the ancient ruins, and you shall lay foundations for the coming generation. You shall be called those who mend torn places. You shall be called those who build lanes to live in.
Our next anthem is a group participation project. So I will sing 4 measures, just very quick, very easy, that once I've done it, once you get the hang of it, join us in those 4 measures. Love, 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 all we need is 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 love,
Hineni, Hebrew for here I am. This word is throughout the Hebrew Bible. First, Abraham says it twice in response to being asked by God and then by angels, "Where are you?" Moses also uses it to the burning bush itself. Jacob uses Hinene. Jacob was the one who was given his brother Esau. I'm having issues with pronunciation today. He was given his brother's birthright blessing and had to flee to avoid his brother's rage. And years later, after building a whole nother life, God calls to Jacob, "Where are you, Jacob?" And he says, "Hinene, I am here." God tells him then to go back to his childhood home, and Jacob does with some reluctance. And the journey is quite extensive, including the night before he arrives to this childhood home, he wrestles with an angel by the river all night long, a metaphor for struggles that keep us up at night. Jacob's fight that night leaves him marked for the rest of his life, and he is given a new name, Israel. Most famously, the term is in the book of Isaiah. In the story, Isaiah sees God sitting with some angels, and he has this realization that he must seek to be in right relationship by reversing his own alienation. He says, "I am lost, for I am a man of unclean lips, and I live among a people of unclean lips." He is forgiven in a very literal way when an angel comes and touches his lips with a piece of coal, saying, "Now that this has touched your lips, your guilt has departed and your sin is blotted out." I love the image and the feeling of touching our lips for forgiveness. But then as the story continues, God says, "Bringing offerings is futile. Incense is an abomination to me. Wash yourself, cease to do evil, learn to do good, seek justice, rescue the oppressed, defend the orphan, plead for the widow." And God wants this message to be spread and asks, Who shall I send to spread my message? And Isaiah famously says, "Here I am, send me." Hinene, here I am, a word that emerges from timeless stories about loss and the dark nights of the soul, social conflict, re-emerging. The re-emerging is not always new like this phoenix rising. More often it's a recommitment just as we are, with all of our sorrows and anxieties intact. Here I am, a call to show up to the world even when we're hesitant. It's a reminder that even in the most anxious times, we can be brave to show ourselves, to our community, to our world. Brave enough to answer the universe, the world, society, to our own lives when they say, "Where are you?" Here I am. Hinene reminds me of the Unitarian Henry David Thoreau, who famously went into the woods. He wrote that book called Walden, you may have heard of. In it, he says, "I went to the woods because," let me say that again. "I went to the woods because I wished to live deliberately, to front all the essential facts of nature and see if I could not learn what it had to teach, and not, when I had come to die, discovered that I had not lived. I do not wish to live what was not life. Living is so dear. Nor did I wish to practice resignation unless it was quite necessary. I wanted to live deep and suck out all the marrow of life." But then, after years, Thoreau came out of the forest because there was justice work to be done. Soon, he was jailed for refusing to pay his taxes because of the Mexican-American War and the existence of slavery, which he protested. And one day, he was sitting in jail, and his friend Ralph Waldo Emerson, you might have heard of him, came to the jail and said, "Henry, what are you doing here?" And Henry responded, "Ralph, why are you not here?" Thoreau spent the rest of his life working for the abolition of slavery, most famously funding John Brown. It's another story. I am inspired by Thoreau's journey and trajectory. I too would like to go live in the woods, to bathe in the beauty of the natural world. Then I think of the people known and unknown who I cannot abandon. I also, though, balance that with thinking about how much it takes for me to show up. I imagine Thoreau had that same struggle with showing up. Like Jacob, I take days wrestling with my angels to recover from the exposure of showing up every week. Yet I know I must be brave enough to come out into the woods of my soul and say to myself, to my community, to my faith, and to the world, here I am. Well, there's several ways that we show up in the world, or we show up at all. Several ways that we say, here I am. We show up to the self, to our own longings and sorrows. Here I am, letting our grief and our joy know that they matter to us. Showing up for our own lives will mean a full-hearted life. We show up for one another. People facing loss and illness and stress, sorrow, we say to one another, here I am. And in doing so, we make ourselves a bit more accessible to the heart of another. And we show up in community, as a collective, as a congregation, through action and partnership and education and outreach. We let people know that we are an institution that searches for the expansive heart and honors humanity and centers the marginalized and aims to live in love. We seek to be brave together when we answer the universe's call. Where are you, Unitarian Universalists? Together we can answer, here we are. We can show up in so many ways, for the self, the other, the whole, all the time, every day. Yet there are many ways we skew away from showing up, admittedly. We might be afraid of being overwhelmed by ourselves or others when we fully show up, or afraid of being present to grief is too much to bear. Sometimes it is. We have all known times when trying itself was dangerous. When I think about bringing the energy of here I am, here we are, as Unitarian Universalists, I fear the backlash and resulting exhaustion from that hypervigilance. I know what it's like to get a threatening call, both personally and professionally. For me, being out, queer, Persian, female, Unitarian Universalist minister also means I fear for my family, both in the Middle East and now today for my family here. I know congregations can be afraid too, afraid of being too visible, believe it or not. So the point of all that is when we embrace the sentiment, here I am, here we are, as an action, as a verb, not just a statement, we are contending with our fears. And then it is up to us, to you, to me, to us, to choose bravery. Being brave. Not long ago, the academic community developed the idea of brave space in contrast to safe space. In short, the model of brave space has 6 pillars that I want to introduce to you. As you hear them, I invite you to consider if you welcome a brave culture in both your life and here in the congregation's life. First pillar is vulnerability, the birthplace of innovation and creativity and accountability. We are vulnerable when we ask sincere questions, share our stories, and put our ideas in the context of who we are. Vulnerability in community looks like, I don't know, I am sorry, I am angry, I love you, I feel connected. So the first pillar of creating brave space is recognizing, you have to recognize it in others, and embracing vulnerability as a culture. The second pillar is about listening to the other and believing them, even if we disagree. The idea is to listen to understand rather than listen to get data and formulate your response. Did you catch that? Listening to one another in order to understand, not to get information or respond. Creating a culture of listening to understand as a community. When people know they are understood somewhere, they actually can go out in the world and be brave elsewhere. The third pillar is to lean into the fear. This means doing the things that make us nervous, hopefully together, as a community, take a risk, and hold each other in love when we fail, because we will fail. Fourth pillar is that infamous critical thinking, which I believe is a disappearing act these days. We do this by recognizing that our thoughts and ideas are limited. Woo. You might have heard me talk about this as humility. It also means knowing that there is more to that iceberg under the water than there is above the water. Therefore, we examine all sides. The fifth pillar of Brave Space is an examination of our intentions, asking ourselves over and over, is what I'm doing and saying advancing the larger conversation? What is the reason for my actions? And then ask, when you have an answer, ask, well, what's behind that reason? And the sixth pillar of Brave Space is mindfulness. This is specifically important for those who tend to run at first sight from conflict or concern. You know who you are. And also those who tend to be quick thinkers and problem solvers and go too fast for others to keep up. Mindfulness, slowing down, pausing before reacting, being present to more than our first reaction. It's up to you, the congregation, to create a culture of brave space, to welcome vulnerability, to listen deeply, to lean into fear, to use your critical thinking, to examine your intentions, and to be mindful. Did you see that was 6? 6 fingers, huh? Okay. Somebody's still awake. I heard a giggle. The poet Audre Lorde wrote a lot about bravery. Her poem titled Litany for Survival is about her being a queer woman of color, to which I relate, but I also think it applies to some of our Unitarian Universalist communities. Remember, if you don't know, we at the Nicene Council in the year, 525, 535? We were the losers. Did you all know that? I don't hear recognition to that. Okay, so it's this big council that comes together to try and decide if Jesus was God or human. And lots of argument and stuff that happens. It defines the rest of our lives. And the people who say Jesus was God, the Trinitarians, won, and the Unitarians, who said, no, there's only one God, Jesus was human, lost. But we're still here. The second half of Audre Lorde's poem. When the sun rises, we are afraid it might not remain. When the sun sets, we are afraid it might not rise in the morning. When our stomachs are full, we are afraid of indigestion. When our stomachs are empty, we are afraid we may never eat again. When we are loved, we are afraid love will vanish. When we are alone, we are afraid love will never return. When we speak, we are afraid our words will not be heard nor welcomed. And when we are silent, we are still afraid. So it is better to speak, remembering we were never meant to survive. That's some bravery right there. These days, I also hear words of bravery all around. Recently, I just heard this interview with Chef Jose Andres, who started that World's Kitchen, feeding people in devastated areas around the world. And a couple years ago, he lost 6 of his staff to a bombing in Ukraine. And he said he wanted to pull out so badly from the area, but he learned you can be afraid and fearless at the same time. he went on to say, "We will never change anything in the world that we see is not right without taking a risk, speaking up, and having boots on the ground." He said, "Life starts at the end of your comfort zone." So to be brave is to say, "Here I am, remembering we were never meant to survive." Creating brave space is to honor that life starts at the end of your comfort zone. Okay, this is a long sermon, so if you're taking a nap, it's cool. If you need to get up and move and stretch, it's cool. I sat in those chairs for 45 minutes this morning. Ooh, my butt got a little tired. I'm going to keep going, though, because that's what I do. Okay, who was here in the sermon when I admitted to you that my secret fantasy is to break the world record for the longest sermon? Few of you were here. That record is 24 hours. Pulling all these pieces together, I'm going to take a moment for direct talk to this congregation, specifically the First Unitarian Universalist Church of Portland. I've been here for 6 short weeks. Today, as you've heard, is my last Sunday. Thank you for putting up with me. It has been a pleasure to be with all of you. During these 6 weeks, I had the privilege of hearing some of your stories. I hosted church chats with a total of about 40 to 50 people and got a sampling of how people were feeling and thinking about the church. I also had the honor to work with and witness a very dedicated staff. With my very limited perspective, I want to share what I heard and what I assess. And I figured that a service about bravery would be a good place to do that. So this is what I heard when asked, "What are you thinking and feeling about the church these days?" Overwhelmingly, folks are hopeful and want to look forward. Some spoke about feeling fatigued, sad, and overwhelmed. And when they shared those feelings, the other people in the room recognized them too. Folks are glad to see there is more energy these days for new programming. It was both praise about the new stuff that's happening and the new space in the church, and a concern that there's so much that you want to do. It's too much. Many expressed excitement to engage with strategic planning this year. That was a common topic. There was a lot of gratitude expressed for the staff who have carried on. There's also a healthy recognition of being a member of a congregation, not of individuals or of leadership. You're a membership of the whole. Folks expressed concerns and fears too. Some were afraid of having to let go of staff and what that would mean for the congregation. Some wondered if you can afford what you want. There was a lot of concern about how big this property is. One person describing it as feral. I liked that. Several did not know who the staff was. Some wondered about the congregation's capacity for joy. Several concerns were expressed about wanting more young families here, also a sorrow that the congregation is not focused on racial justice as much anymore. Several wish there were more opportunities to grieve and reconcile what has been. From all that I heard and witnessed, I have 3 suggestions based on what I know about congregational systems. Nobody knows what I'm going to say. So take what you wish, leave the rest, don't worry. Keep in mind this is one person, somewhat professional person, maybe not, it's bullshit. It's not a state of rules. This is what I know. These are 3 suggestions. 1, do the work of reconciling the story of the congregation. This means processing the conflicts of the past and the changes that are happening now together. Do it enough so you can talk about it without taking over. Do not let there be something that is, we don't really talk about that. For that will create alienation, not just among you, but with new people. And nobody will know why. I have known congregations that didn't speak about some conflict for 30 years. And when it came time to describe who they were, everyone was silent. Because not they had individual ideas, but no collective idea. I will never forget one congregation I was an interim at, and I spoke about a conflict that they had in the 1970s over a minister who smoked pot with the teens. It was a big deal. After the service, one elderly person came up to me and said, I was on the board during that time, and no one ever told me that as a board member, I would cry. But I cried then. I'm sure your leadership has cried too. The grief and conflict is part of your story. Remember, a measurement of successful community is that you can talk about what has happened in your congregation over time without it taking over. Does that make sense? That's one. Two, that's probably what the number one. That's why I named it one. God, I surprise myself sometimes. Two, again, nobody knows what I'm about to say. Staff changes have been and continue to be immense. Staff, too, have experienced great losses, fears, hurts, and changes. And I suspect it's been a really hard several years. Even though things are moving forward and your staff has beautifully recommitted themselves, I suggest the congregation fund some staff care and renewal. How or what that looks like is a bigger conversation for your leadership, but the congregation can choose to fund that kind of work, which is the work of resilience rather than production. And now is the time to do that. And since no one knows that I was going to say that, don't go asking them about it, because they're just going to be like, what? You got number two? Number three. My third suggestion is to make sure that you are not beholden to what has been. That is neither the tough times or the troubled times, as I heard people say, nor your heyday. It's a new world, and this is a different congregation. Your needs are different, your surroundings are different, the dynamics of justice are different. I hope you will learn and hold your stories of how you became tenderly, but be curious about the current transitions together, and also turn toward the future. Because there's some stewing right now. Because in truth, this world right now is a dry sponge waiting for Unitarian Universalists to be brave and to say, here we are. We are ancient. We have always been here, and we are the future. We are humane, engaged, and a justice-seeking faith. Here we are. So those are my three suggestions. No big deal. Reconcile the congregation's life stories. There's many. Support resilience practices for your staff, and be brave and let the world know you are here. We all have fears, and many are rooted in real life experiences. Therefore, each day we wake and consciously, but more often unconsciously, decide how much fear, how much energy, how much heart we will put into answering the question of life with a here I am. Then we head out into the day, every day, hopefully with our belongings and doing a little braver as we live our faith, stand with the promise of humanity, and resist the forces of separation and exclusion in some small way, all the time. What an incredible promise to restore us from alienation. Here I am. Here am I. Persistently saying yes to life. Send me. In Isaiah, it says, unlock the handcuffs put on by wicked powers. Untie the ropes of the yoke. Let the oppressed go free, and break every yoke. Then, when you call, God will say, here am I. Did you catch that? In the Hebrew Bible, God also says, Hinene. When you are brave and just, a force larger than yourself will echo the call with, here am I. Here we are. Back and forth, here am I. Here we are. Together. It's time for us all to be braver together. May it be so. I'm glad you're all standing. Let's sing. Time to sing. Once again, thank you for welcoming me here this last 6 weeks. As I close, I simply say, I'm rooting for the Unitarian Church of Portland. Go forth and be brave.